Here are some stretches that you can do for specific muscle groups that we work. So for the chest, you can put your hands behind your back, clasp them together, or just grab your other wrist and open up that chest. So I'm lifting up a little bit, keeping my shoulders down and back. This is also good for when we do high to low plank to stretch out the front of the shoulder. If you have a wall, you can put your one arm on the wall and twist away from it to stretch one side at a time. I know we don't really work the back, but a good one is just the opposite of that. So you interlace your fingers and kind of round everything forward, drop your chin to your chest, trying to create some space between those shoulder blades. We're going to do a standing quad stretch next. So this is good for any of the lower body exercises. Hold on to something if you need to for balance. You want to keep your knees in alignment and pull up on that back foot. So you don't want your knee to do anything odd here. So that stretches out the quads and the front of the leg. You can also do a standing glute stretch. We're going to do this down on the floor as well. But I have my one ankle on my other thigh. I'm getting low, and you feel that stretch in this glute over here on the bent leg. I'm going to come down to the floor in a kneeling position. So this is a good stretch kind of for everything. I do it as a runner if you sit a lot. So you're going to put one foot up and then you're going to lean in. So this is a hip flexor stretch. So you have these muscles that connect the legs up to the abs. So there's a whole bunch going on here. And when you sit, everything is forward. Or when you run, when we walk, we do everything forward in our day. So it's really good to open that up and get a little bit higher than just the quad that we did standing. So make sure you do both sides of that. That's a good one. All right, so we're going to come down to the floor. So a couple different ways to stretch the hamstrings, the back of the legs. The majority of the population is walking around with tight hamstrings, which might be why you have lower back pain. So you can just do straight legs and reach forward. You can do this standing too, it's up to you. I like to do it sitting, or another way you can stretch the hamstrings is to lay back. Might be better to grab a towel or phone a friend, as I say, and have them help you stretch, but you're going to hold one leg. So the key here is to release your quad. When you go to stretch your hamstring, your quad automatically tightens up because it's trying to protect it. So you got to be aware of that and release that quad, and you'll be able to get a little bit deeper into that stretch. So one leg and then the other. So you want to hold these stretches for at least 30 seconds as well. I'm going through them pretty quickly just to give you ideas. Hold for at least 30 seconds, release, and then another 30 seconds if you can. Then the other one we can do is that glute stretch we did standing. You can do it here, sitting, trying to get this knee as far away as you can while this foot gets as close as you can. Or you can bring it down to the floor and hug it in. Last one I'm going to show you is Cobra to stretch out the core when we do our abs. So your hands are in line with your chest. Push up, shoulders are down and back. This stretches out the front of your body. If you want to get those obliques a little bit, just turn your head from one side to the other. And then, because they're my favorites, child's pose. Feet come together, knees are apart. Sink your hips back towards your heels, reaching your hands in the opposite direction. And then you can come up, bring your knees in, tuck your toes, and come into a down dog. Good stretch for the calves, so you're working your hips up towards the floor, heels towards the ceiling, and head between your arms. All right, so those are your stretches. If you have any questions, let me know. Enjoy.